Hello everybody, this is Yugi. I'm here to bring you all the new Destiny changes for Hero. So this video is specifically on Destiny changes. I'm not going to go through like hero guides or whatever. I know I said I'm going to make hero guides, but that will be for a later date. Right now I just want to go through all the changes that Hero has received for Destiny very quickly. I know I usually tend to make longer videos because I hate editing, but this time I'll try and make it a little bit shorter. We'll go through the basics and we'll keep it short and simple. Now, basically during Destiny, Heroes received quite a few buffs. We haven't received that many final damage buffs as compared to other classes. In my opinion, this is justified because Hero is honestly honestly very strong as it is already. In the Explorer Warriors, it was definitely the top before Destiny. Now, not so much. It's probably on par with the rest of the Explorers. So basically, everyone else is caught up with Hero. Hero is no longer as OP as it used to be. And I think that's a good thing. But the quality of life changes are pretty huge for Hero, and it makes the game a lot easier to play, a lot more fun to play for all the hero mains out there, or aspiring hero mains. So let's jump into all the skills that have changed during Destiny. I'll go through everything from 1st to 4th job, and I'll show you all the new animations that have come. So the first thing that you'll notice is that we have a new flash jump. Our flash jump is slightly more yellow in color. I don't think the range has increased or decreased. It's pretty much the same. I haven't noticed any major changes with this. The next skill that we'll go through is upper charge. So upper charge is our up jump. It's fairly standard. Can be activated by either pressing the attack plus up key or by pressing the skill hotkey itself. I have it on a skill hotkey because it's easier to use. So as you can see, there's new animation. You summon a little sword when you jump up now. And yeah, that's about it. We also have leap attack, but leap attack is really relatively the same. Yeah, about the same skill. Okay, moving on. Next, the biggest thing that you'll notice for Hero, the iconic combo orbs are now a different color. So I'll show you what they look like. This is what the blue combo orbs look like now. They actually look really nice, I think. And as you charge them up more and more, this is what the final form of the combo orbs all look like. I still turn them off when I'm bossing, so I right click this and I turn them off because they are very annoying to look at. It affects my henny hole, but if you're a kind of person that enjoys combo orbs, this is what they look like. They're actually quite cool looking now. Also, there's an added benefit in this patch where all of your skills no longer cost combo orbs. So previously, a lot of your skills for Hero cost combo orbs, and you have to regain your combo orbs in order to maintain your final damage stacks. But now in Destiny, none of your skills cost combo orbs anymore. Nothing reduces your combo orbs, so you can actually just turn this off now. And you don't have to worry about having to look at your combo orbs in order to see how many you have left to cast your skills, which is honestly pretty good quality of life, and it's very nice for people that like to henny hole and don't like having their combo orbs on. Okay, that's combo attack. Next we have Brandish. Brandish has also received a change in animation. It's nothing too major. It's just for second job grinding, so I won't focus too much on this skill. Other than this, we also have one of the newer skills that was released. It's Flash Slash. So Flash Slash is kind of like a dash skill, except that it is similar to Rush that we have in 3rd job. I'm sure you all know what Rush is. It's our bread and butter direct movement skill while you're stuck on the ground. But Flash Slash is omnidirectional, so you can use it in 8 different directions, any way you choose. And it can be used while you're in the air. So it looks something like this. Very similar to Rush, except that you can do something like this as well, where you jump and use it. So you're able to use it while you're in the air. It's a cool tech basically. You can use it in a variety of different ways. It's only limited by how well ingenious you are with how you want to use your movement. I will say that there are certain drawbacks to this skill, where there's a slight end delay for the skill because especially when you use it in the air, because you have to land on the ground before you can move again. So it's a little bit dangerous to use while bossing because you end up directly in front of the boss and there's nothing you can do about it. And for a short time, you are immobile. So you have to be really sure that you are safe when you use this skill during bossing to, yeah, you know, so that you don't die to random attacks after you Flash Slash. The other nice thing about Flash Slash that makes it slightly better than Rush is that the range is longer. So this is what Rush looks like. This is also a new animation, by the way. This is what Rush looks like. So for Rush, you can use it from about here, let's say this rock, all the way to about here in the middle of this pagoda. But For Flash Slash, you can use it basically, one second, from here to here. So you can tell that the difference is pretty big actually. So for Rush, you're like here, you end up in the middle of the pagoda. But for Flash Slash, you are here, and basically you can use it to traverse this entire distance. It's really long. It's almost double the distance of Rush. Again, it has its drawbacks, but it's a very useful skill to keep in mind. It also has a cooldown. It has a 4-second cooldown, so it's not something that you can spam constantly. And it requires a target. So for example, if I wanted to Flash Slash to the left, I can't do that at all, because there's no target on the left. But if I want to Flash Slash to the right, I can, because there's a target. So it's a more conditional rush with a cooldown, and it can be very useful to cover distance because it's much longer. But again, it has its drawbacks. You need a target for one, and two, you are slightly animation locked at the end of the skill. Okay, moving on. Spirit Blade. Spirit Blade is our old Rage basically. Rage was our skill that we used to give our party members weapon attack. Spirit Blade is just a reskinned Rage. It looks like this. Nothing too fancy. It looks okay, I guess. Okay, next change for hero is Weapon Acceleration. Weapon Acceleration is basically our weapon booster. Our weapon booster has been changed so that it's now a passive. It no longer requires you to auto buff it. It also has extra 20 strength added onto it. So it's nice because it frees up a pet auto buff slot. Okay, moving on. We have Intrepid Slash for third job. Intrepid Slash is again not too important because all it is a reskin of Intrepid Slash, and it's a mobbing skill that you won't use past 4th job. So, I mean past 3rd job. So this is what it looks like. The new hitbox is really nice. It's a lot bigger now, and it should improve heroes grinding from 1st to 4th job. The next new skill that we get is actually Aura Blade. So Aura Blade is again an omnidirectional skill, so you can use it in any direction you want, and it can be used while you're in the air. It has a 7-second cooldown. It hits 8 enemies at 180% damage 5 times, and it also has extra damage to normal monsters, not boss monsters, normal monsters. So it's a good mobbing. It's a pretty good mobbing skill. This is what it looks like. It has a 7-second cooldown as well. Can be used while you're in the air. And also it can be used in any direction. So for example, if you want to cast it towards the bottom right, towards the mob there, you can do it while you're in the air. Oh, sorry. Like that. It doesn't require a target, so you can use it in any direction you want. You can use it to the left as well. And yeah, that's basically it. My opinion on this skill is that it is an interesting skill. It's not a DPS increase, so you shouldn't be spamming this wall when it's off cooldown whenever you want. It's not a lot of DPS. The main use of it to me is either for grinding. Grinding is really good because it's a fairly large AoE and it can hit certain platforms that you usually can't hit. Either that, or you use it while bossing as a kind of a fire and forget skill. So for example, if you're fighting a boss, you're like attacking a boss here. You need to run away from the boss. You run away from the boss, you cast you cast Aura Blade, and then you continue running away. It's a slight DPS increase, it's nothing crazy. It's mostly a grinding utility skill. Wouldn't exactly consider it like a important bossing skill to use, or to remember to use. Not a big DPS increase or decrease either way. Okay, moving on past Aura Blade, there's the new Rush. I showed this just now already, but this is what the new Rush looks like. One of the biggest things that changed with Rush this patch is that the end delay for Rush is much better. It is much better. So it's not really noticeable on the screen, but when you get your hands on the game or you start playing hero, if you're an old hero player, you know that the old Rush used to have a pretty lengthy end delay. So when you cast Rush once, you have to pause for like half a second where you landed before you can rush again. At 0 attack speed now, your Rush delay is almost instant. So let me pop a green pot real quick. Your rush delay is almost instant. There's almost no delay at the end, and you'll be able to rush again immediately afterwards. It's really good for mobility now. It's it's a very reliable mobility skill now. Basically, you don't have to be worried too much about animation locks at the end, and you can just constantly spam this skill, like press and hold the key down this skill in order to cover big distances safely. It's really important for certain bosses, for example, Black Mage and Saren. Well, actually, to be honest, all bosses. Okay, moving past that, we now have Scarring Sword as well. Scarring Sword is basically our old Panic, but the difference is that for Scarring Sword, The debuff is inflicted on every single attack that you do on the enemy and is no longer restricted to you having to debuff the boss first. So previously, Panic, you had to it cost 1 combo orb to use, it cost 2 combo orbs to use, and it would apply a blind debuff on the enemy, and this blind debuff syncs up well with Chance Attack. So Chance Attack gives you 25% final damage on stabbed and bound enemies. It used to be blinded enemies, but either way, it gives you 25% final damage for debuffing the enemy with Panic. But now you no longer have to debuff the enemy, because every single attack that you do actually applies a scarring debuff, which is the same, which activates Chance Attack. So basically, you get 25% final damage consistently now. One of the biggest problems with previous hero was that you needed to constantly debuff the boss because Panic only lasted 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, you have to reapply your debuff in order to maintain your final damage from Chance Attack. But now you don't have to anymore, because this is a auto buffable skill. So you can put it on your pets, but I mean, if you want to see what it looks like, this is what it looks like. And you can now apply a scar on all enemies that you attack, which improves your final damage. So this is what the final damage looks. This is what the scar looks like. The debuff looks like. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's basically always going to be applied on whatever you attack from now on, which is a huge change for hero. It's huge quality of life basically. And it ensures that you will always have your final damage buff up, which is great. It's really good. So that's the next change. After that, we also have self-recovery. Self-recovery used to be a really useless skill because it only healed like 1500 HP, I think, and 1500 MP every 4 seconds, if I remember correctly. Now it heals actually a percentage of a HP and MP every 4 seconds. It heals 4% HP and 4% MP every 4 seconds. This is pretty big. I mean, it won't be huge and you won't notice it that much, but self-recovery now can actually save you in a lot of situations where you should have ended up dying. It's a pretty good skill now. Nothing too game-changing though. Okay, in 4th job now, we have all the new 4th job skills. We have Raging Blow. Raging Blow previously looked a lot different. So this is what new Raging Blow looks like. Animation's much faster now. There's not as much end delay. It's a much better grinding skill. But you won't be seeing this form very often because with the new combo orb mechanics, basically whenever you charge up your combo orbs to full, you will get enhanced Raging Blow immediately. So this is what enhanced Raging Blow looks like. And now you maintain this form without having to use any extra modifier. So previously, if you wanted to maintain this form of enhanced Raging Blow, you either had to use Valhalla or you had to use Soul of Burning Soul, which is our 5th job skill. But now you maintain this form all the time, even without any of these extra modifiers or without using Enrage. So basically, you can attack as many mobs as you want with this now. Let me just spam a bunch of these. So so now you can basically attack all the mobs now. It's a great change for mobbing. As you can see, I'm hitting 5 mobs with the new enhanced Raging Blow without this basically shows that I don't have Enrage on, and you can now maintain your Raging Blow all the way. It's huge for mobbing. So this change is absolutely enormous for mobbing because now you don't have to rely on your cooldowns in order to mob well. You can just turn on enhanced Raging Blow, hit everything. The hitbox is also much bigger now. Well, not much bigger, but significantly bigger, both vertically and horizontally. So basically, Hero's grinding got a huge buff, which is one of the things that Hero actually struggled with prior to this patch. So it's actually really nice to see that they're working on some of the things that Hero is struggling with. So that's a new Raging Blow. It's really good. I love it. It also now has a passive effect of giving Aura Blade 71% more damage, but that's not that important. Okay, we also have Incising. Incising is, well, Puncture and GMS is the same skill, basically, except that now it lasts for 60 seconds instead of like 27 or 28 seconds. I can't remember what was the previous one already. But now it lasts 60 seconds. What Incising does is it doesn't give you critical damage, that's a translation error. It gives you 26% damage, which is equivalent to 26% boss on all mobs. Boss or normal. And it also gives your party members 11% boss. This is with combat orders. It's actually 25-10. But with combat orders, it's 26-11. And yeah, it lasts for much longer now. So you don't have to constantly be reapplying your buffs. Your buffs will almost always be active on bosses. You just have to reapply this every once in a while to the boss. And you will maintain all your debuffs, which is great. It's, like I said again, amazing QL changes for hero. This is what it looks like. Oh, sorry. My character's kind of blocking. This is what it looks like. The vertical hitbox on this skill is actually mad. You can virtually triple plat with this skill in a lot of different maps now. And it's really, really strong. It's really strong. It also no longer consumes combo orbs, as you can probably tell. So you can spam it now for grinding, which makes it insanely good for grinding. In fact, it's probably one of your main grinding skills, alongside Raging Blow now. Okay, besides incising, oh, this is what the debuff looks like, by the way, if you're interested in all. So you can tell quite easily what the two debuffs you have on the boss now are. One is Scarring Sword, one is incising. Okay, next we also have Magic Crash. Magic Crash now actually works as it's intended to. Basically, it, let's say something DRs, like cast damage reflect, you can actually cast this skill to remove damage reflect rather than having to pre-cast this skill in order to ensure that the boss can't cast damage reflect. So now you can just cast it after the fact and you will actually remove damage reflect as well. This is what it looks like. It's actually a pretty cool animation, and the debuff icon has changed as well, so it looks pretty cool as well. But nothing much else besides change for this skill. Okay, now we also have Enrage. Enrage is our bread and butter boxing skill. Basically, it forces you into a state where you can only attack up to 3 enemies, and it also enhances it also gives you a bunch of final damage and crit damage. I wanted to say it enhances Raging Blow, but it doesn't do that anymore because Raging Blow naturally enhances itself at level 10 anyways. Sorry, not at level 10, but at 10 combo orbs anyways. So this is the new animation for Enrage. Looks pretty cool. The only annoying thing about this patch is that now when you can't really tell when you have Enrage on, because like I said, whenever you have full combo orbs, you always have enhanced Raging Blow. So there's no difference between enhanced Raging Blow and enraged enhanced Raging Blow. Basically, you can't really tell. Oh, the only thing that changes, as you can probably see, is that the damage changes. So you go from like 5 bill lines to like 8 bill lines, 6, 7, 8 bill lines. Yeah. So it's a little bit difficult in bossing now to tell whether you're on Enrage or not. So please make sure that you always press Enrage before you enter the boss. I have fallen victim to this already, where I forget to turn on Enrage before I start bossing and I don't really notice until later. So yeah, please remember to turn on Enrage. This is what it looks like on the buff skill icon, buff bar icons. I'm not used to this yet, so I can't really tell. So that's Enrage. Maple Warrior also has a new animation. This is what Maple Warrior looks like now. It's pretty fancy. Heroes Will also has a new animation. This is what it looks like. And that's about it. Everything else is relatively the same in terms of like our 1st to 4th drop skills. Okay, we can move on to hyper skills. Hyper skills, we have a new Rage Uprising. Rage Uprising looks pretty cool now, although I wouldn't say it's like, it doesn't really make sense because this is what it looks like. Rage Uprising comes from top down now, so it's not really Uprising. I don't really understand why it's called Rage Uprising anymore. But yeah, it looks really good now. There's nothing else that's changed. The animation cast point is relatively the same. There's no major animation changes, there's no damage increases, it just looks different. Alright, that's Rage Uprising. Epic Adventure also has a new look. This is what it looks like. It's a lot bigger now, so yeah. Also, okay, one of the more major changes to Hero, and pretty much I would say the only real final damage increase for Hero is the new Valhalla. So previous Valhalla used to be 150-second cooldown, and it provided all the same buffs as it does right now. The same active buffs: 50 attack, 30% crit rate, 100 status resist, and all elemental resist plus 100%. But the new Valhalla basically has a extra active applied to it. So basically, when you attack enemies, you have you activate 3 sword attacks to attack 6 enemies at 370% damage 2 times, and the sword attacks occur up to 12 times. and they cannot occur anymore once used up. So basically you have sword attack charges once you've used Valhalla, and then you will, as you attack the enemy, you use up these charges and deal more and more damage. So what this means is that it is a off burst / burst skill, and it's not a consistent DPS skill. They reduce the cooldown to 120 seconds so that it syncs up well with Sword of Burning Soul, and it syncs up well with Combo Instinct. This is what New Valhalla looks like. And this is what the sword animations look like. So when you attack an enemy, you will see like there's this like over here, right? There's this scar thingy being left behind. That is Valhalla being applied onto the boss. From my testing, Valhalla is about a 5%. Oh, sorry. That was someone on Twitch following me. I don't know why I got followed when I'm not streaming, but either way, it's about a 5% final damage increase as part of your 40-second BA. So 5 to 6%. So it's not a huge increase. It's only about 5 to 6%, but it is an increase, I guess. You also it's about 3 to 4% final damage increase across a 4-minute BA. So I won't bother you doing a BA on stream because not on stream, on video, because it would take too long. But you have to take my word for it. There is about 5% increase in 40 seconds, and it's about 3 to 4% increase in total DPM. So it's not the biggest change for Hero. It's not the biggest change. Hero doesn't receive like a huge final damage buff during this event. But like I said, Hero didn't really need a final damage buff compared to the rest of the explorers. So now other people are catching up to Hero rather than Hero being super far ahead of everyone else, which I think is fair enough. Hero has received a lot of quality of life buffs anyways. Okay, one of the questions that I get asked most often nowadays, because after there's post-Destiny, all our skills got reset, or like all your skill points get reset because of all the new skills. So what I get asked very often is what are the passive skills that you should use for passive skill boosts. This is what I use and I think is most optimal. I think most heroes use this. Is final damage per combo orb counter, boss killer, which gives you 2% boss per combo orb, advanced final attack activation chance. This is slightly better for bossing than 20 Wa is. 20 Wa is slightly better for grinding, so if you're doing a hero mule, like if you're just grinding it to 200 for Union or Legion, I would suggest get 20 attack. 20 attack is slightly better. But if you are at all planning to boss, then activation chance is much better. Or not much better, but it's significantly better. Yeah, that's final attack. And also you have the 2 Raging Blow reinforcers. You have reinforce for 20% damage, and you have bonus attack for +1 number of attacks. So those are the hyper skill passives that you should be using. Please stop asking me. Just refer to this video and use them. Okay, we also have new tricores for Hero. New tricores are, or rather, my recommendation for tricores to use for Hero are as follows. The new tricore should be Valhalla, Incising, and Aura Blade. It's called Aura Katara for some reason in Maplestory. Don't ask me why. It's a translation error. But yeah, these are the 3 skills that I recommend boosting as a hero now. Okay, so this only applies to old heroes. So for older heroes, your main tricore used to be Raging Blow, Rage Uprising, Final Attack. So that was the old tricore that used to be used, right? For old hero, this is why I recommend like this new tricore, because this new tricore applies 3 new skills that are actually pretty nice to have. For newer heroes specifically, I don't suggest that you if you find yourself lacking core slots, I don't suggest that you boost Rage Uprising. Rage Uprising to me is a lower priority skill compared to Valhalla, because Valhalla is part of your off burst, it's part of your burst, it's great damage, or it's not great damage, but it's significant damage, much higher than Rage Uprising is at the very least. So I suggest that you replace Rage Uprising in your main tricore with Valhalla. So it will go something like Raging Blow, Valhalla, Final Attack. And then obviously your other tricore will be something like Valhalla, Raging Blow, Final Attack. Something like that. So that will be the new main tricore to me for heroes. And then a secondary tricore will probably be something like Rage Uprising, Incising, and Aura Blade. So those 3 skills are useful, but they're not super useful. So like, for example, like I mentioned, that Aura Blade is something like a fire and forget skill, and it's mostly used for grinding. So it's not that useful to be boosted because it already does extra damage to mobs in the first place. So it does significantly more damage to normal monsters in the first place. So it is already, as it is, strong enough for mobbing. Incising is the same deal. Again, it's more of a mobbing skill, but it's nice to boost it because you know, when you reach like Cernium plus, like level 260 and above, having a boost node on incising means that you're able to one shot with incising, which is pretty nice because incising is actually really good for grinding. Yeah, and Rage Uprising, well, yeah, it's just an AoE skill, and you use it sometimes in bossing. Not super useful, so I don't believe that it's that important to boost it. Yeah, so those are my recommendations. Overall, I think Destiny patch was really good for hero. Maybe not as good as for Paladins and Dark Knights, our Explorer Warrior counterparts, but as a hero main, I am pretty satisfied with all the nice things that we've got. Our new skills, like I said, not super useful. Flash Slash is by itself an interesting skill to think about because it allows you to travel bigger distances compared to Rush, but it also has a slight animation delay and it puts you directly in front of the boss. So, and it also requires a target, so has limitations. Aura Blade, like I said, good for grinding, not so good for anything else. Not so good for bossing, basically. The biggest changes to me are the debuff situation, where you only have to apply your debuffs every minute now for incising, and Scarring Sword is applied directly by itself, as well as the new Raging Blow that is applied even when you are not in Enrage. Okay, so now that we're done with the technical part of the video, let me show you a little bit of how the skills work in action. I'll only show the grinding portion. I'll have a couple of bossing videos coming out. You guys can enjoy watching the bossing videos in the future, but for I probably won't be making that many grinding videos. So let me showcase a little bit of the grinding and how new hero grinding goes. So basically, with the new enhanced Raging Blow, again, you no longer have to use Sword of Burning Soul or Valhalla in order to charge up in order to have enhanced Raging Blow. So this is what hero grinding probably looks like right now. Just jumping around using Raging Blow, hitting mobs, and then Flash Slash can be used to get up to higher platforms. So pretty nice to have. Pretty nice to have. It's a lot smoother now and a lot easier to grind with. Oh, that's the new event, by the way. So yeah, that's a little bit of a grinding showcase. Not so much. You can also use new Aura Blade like so, or yeah, or you can use it like basically you would use it like that, and then you would just down jump. So it helps in grinding a little bit, and also the new incising. So new incising, basically can triple plat, as you can probably tell. I'm hitting the platform. Oh wait, no, I can't hit that platform over there, but I can hit the platform up here as well. Yeah, it can almost pretty much triple plat by itself. It's insanely big. The AoE is insanely big. It's really nice. For lower level grinding, you're going to be seeing incising a lot more, and I think it's super useful at lower level grinding. Also, something I forgot to mention is that we have a new voice actors for our classes. So my hero is no longer a mute. It actually has voice acting, which is nice. Okay, anyways, that's about it for the video. I said I would try and keep this short. It's already almost 30 minutes. I mean, it's shorter than my usual videos. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. Hope you learned something new about hero today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I'll be starting on the hero guide, so yeah, so that I can kind of let you guys know what are my opinions on how to play hero and all that post Destiny. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.